Welcome to the Double R Show, the podcast that features everything about North Lincoln County. The Double R Show, directed and produced by Paul Robertson and hosted by the voice of Lincoln City, Roger Robertson.
And welcome to the Double R Show. We'll have an opportunity to talk with Representative David Gomberg and then a couple of people reflecting on what's going to be happening for spring break.
Spring break is here. Yeah, the school year is, 2/3 over, I guess, coming onto the third quarter, which is the fourth quarter, however that works. Yeah.
Boone Marker and Serena Dressel will be joining us, talking about the Cultural Center and what's going to be going on there. And then up at Taft High School, opportunity to watch girls and boys in baseball and softball.
Yeah, and then also, of course, you got the golf teams and other stuff happening too, right? Don't forget
those. A lot of
things
happening coming
Track
down
and
the
field,
pipe.
So yeah.
Spring sports have sprung. We'll be back right after this. If you're looking for great early garden fresh produce, it's Kenny's IGA in the Bay Area of Lincoln City. 4 generations of Morgans caring for your every grocery need. All of your favorite beverages, a full deli, meat, produce, and of course, groceries.
Books and puzzles have one thing in common. Bob's Beach Books in the Ocean Lake area of Lincoln City. Books for every interest, books by authors from around the world and across the street. Visit Bob's Beach Books so you can say, I have read a good book lately.
Northwest Septic Service is your one-stop shop for all your septic needs.
Northwest Septic Service offers pumping, maintenance, repair, and inspections with one call, 541-994-6977.
Buying or selling a home? Northwest Septic Service can inspect your sewer line or an entire septic system.
Old or failing septic system? Northwest Septic Service can rejuvenate most drain fields, saving you thousands of dollars. 541-994-6977.
Serving Lincoln, Tillamook, and Yamhill counties, Northwest Septic Service. Legislative session for another year is complete. With us is Representative David Gomberg, and you had the head chair for a lot of that session, did you not, David?
Well, depends, Roger, how you define the head chair. I was not in charge of the session, but I was in charge of running the floor sessions, standing up at the front of the room, running the meeting, keeping things moving, listening to every word, controlling the motions that were made, trying to keep the emotions under control, and get the work done on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, 9 days out of 10, I was up in the front because of my role as the pro tem speaker.
Now, you had some issues that needed to be dealt with, budget being the number one.
Yeah, the policy issues always get the headlines, but I believe that the real work of the legislature has to do with the budget. And this short session was challenged by budgets like never before. Mm-hmm. And here's what happened. I mean, we get together in the long session last year. We take 6 months and we write a 2-year budget. And no sooner had we put the pen down and gone home than the federal government comes back with legislation that does 2 things. It reduces the amount of spending that they're willing to commit to Oregon, but it also reduces our tax revenues in Oregon, because when the federal government implements tax breaks, our Oregon tax code relies on the federal tax code, so they break our local revenue stream as well. And so we came in, and between the tax deductions and the reductions in spending from the federal government, we were looking at a $700 million shortfall in the budget that we had just concluded weeks before. So we came in this time looking at how are we going to plug a $700 million gap in spending.
That's huge.
It is. And it affects real programs and real people, whether it's schools or healthcare or firefighting or housing. Yeah, those are real dollars.
What kind of budget takes a hit like that?
Well, on one hand, we come in and we make like a 5% reduction, 5 or 8% reduction across the board. And some people would say, well, 8%, that's not all that much. But, if we came to your household budget, Roger, and said, you need to make an 8% reduction in your spending.
I'm in trouble.
Where do you start? Because it's not like we've we've got extra money that we're just throwing around last year or the year before. These budgets were already tight. Let me turn to transportation for a second, because that's a more telling example. Costs for maintaining our roads have been going up, whether it's salaries or the cost of asphalt or the cost of the steel that we're putting into our bridges. The costs are going up, just like your household budget is going up. And so in order to cover those increased costs, we decided to approve a 6-cent increase in gasoline taxes. I mean, when we started the conversation, we were talking about 20 cents, but we ended up with a 6-cent increase. And Oregonians, in their wisdom, decided they were going to refer that to the ballot, and they wanted to say on it as well. Okay, that's fair. But because it was referred to the ballot, we could not implement the change. Now, costs are still going up, and now the revenue we were hoping to pay for them with has gone away. While we wait for the outcome of this election, we had to cut the ODOT budget by $300 million. Now, that's on top of a $50 million reduction that I administered as chair of that committee last session. So, that means in the last year and a half, we're talking about a $350 million reduction. How do you reduce budgets like that? Well, the answer is
people.
Well, you start with the vacancies. I mean, because of all the uncertainty, 800 people have left ODOT in the last 10 months. That's 20% of their workforce. And so we start by looking at the vacancies and say, which ones can we leave vacant for the time being? We made some changes in how we were going to pay for some big projects like the Rose Quarter Bridge up in Portland or the Center Street Bridge in Salem. And then we decided we were going to delay work on a number of bridges they're scheduled for repairs or upgrades. And those were mostly coastal bridges that need seismic attention or other kinds of repairs. And then we got into a number of specific programs that were grant money that we normally give to local government. Safe Routes to Schools that helps pay for sidewalks and crosswalks near our schools. Connect Oregon, which helps pay for our ports and our rail lines and our dredging, those kinds of things. We said we're going to delay all of those as well. And at the end of the day, the cuts that we made mean that potholes are going to be there longer before they're filled. We're going to have to wait longer to get the snow plows out on the road. And I think people are going to have to wait longer when they go to a DMV office. Those are the real consequences of cutting a budget to that degree.
$800 million?
We cut $700 million out of the general fund and another $300 out of ODOT.
$1 billion.
That's
total.
$1 billion altogether.
Goodness gracious.
So we're making reductions, and I think the good news is that I thought we did it in a responsible and as least consequential way as possible.
Now, this will be on the ballot in May?
The gas tax is scheduled to go to the ballot in May. It was originally scheduled for November. We wanted to change it to move it up earlier to provide some certainty and help people start working on those new budgets right away, because half of the money that we collect in the gas tax, folks forget, goes to our local governments, our cities and our counties, and they do their budgets on a fiscal year basis, which means they're writing budgets in July. They can't wait till November to find out if they got money to fix their roads.
Now, I'd heard you say in the past with the 6 cents gas tax, what that really relates to for a typical family.
Well, if you do the math, if you say you're driving 12,000 miles a year and you're getting 20 miles to the gallon, how much does that add up to? I mean, $2 or $3 a month, I think is the cost of what we're talking about right now. But I've also heard it described as the $4.3 billion tax increase, but that's because they were talking about over a 10-year period.
Now, speed of taxes, lodging taxes, we've got an issue there that you
Big
had
things,
to deal with.
Big things going on. The lodging tax, there's a small amount that's collected by the state and a larger amount collected by the city. So here in Lincoln City, we have a 1.25% goes to the state and another, 12 cents that stays local. And under the current rule, 70% of that local money needs to be spent on advertising. It's a little more complicated than that because some of the tax was implemented before this rule was designed. But let's just say in round number, 70% needs to go to advertising. And our cities are coming in saying, all these visitors come out here and there's a cost involved with that for police, for roads, for water, for trash collection. And we can't use any of that lodging tax we collect from the visitors to help pay for the costs of our visitors. So we passed legislation that changes the 70-30 split to a 50-50 split. And that's going to give our local governments a lot more flexibility. If they want to spend more than 50% on tourism, they're welcome to do so. But if they want to choose to use some of that for police or fire, they can do that as well.
Was there much pushback?
The Lodging Association was pushing back pretty hard in the beginning, and then as this thing picked up steam, they backed off a little bit. At the same time, there was another change that went on at the state level. Remember I said they get a penny and a quarter?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we added another 1.25% to that to pay for wildlife.
Now, where does wildlife fit in with tourism?
Well, the statistics are pretty clear that so many of the people that come to visit Oregon or to visit the Oregon coast are here to look at wildlife. Mm-hmm. And they want to watch whales, they want to watch birds, they want to watch the elk on the side of the road. And the Fish and Wildlife Department is only getting paid through hunting and fishing license fees. And they're not able to cover the costs of preserving our wildlife. A big part of that money was going to go into wolf depredation, which is when wolves attack livestock, the owners are compensated by
Eastern
the state.
Oregon most affected.
Yeah, which is why this was a bipartisan bill supported by both Democrats and Republicans, which is to say Eastern and Western Oregon supported this bill. But so we've got the change in how we use local taxes, and we've got a 1.25% increase on the statewide tax.
In your estimation, the amount of pushback between one party and the other, good, bad, or indifferent?
What's going on at the federal level is filtering down to the local level. There's no doubt about that. Although I would say this session at the end of the day was less contentious as previous ones. We had some delays. We had some mini walkouts, but not like a couple of years ago where they walked out for 2 weeks to shut down the session. No, we got our work done, and we got it done in an amicable and I don't want to say entirely agreeable, but at the end of the day, we got the work done, and I think it was accomplished in a way that most people thought was fair.
Finally, Representative Gomberg, give me a grade for the just completed session.
I'd give it a B, and it was a hard assignment. So, did we do it as well as we might have? No, I think there was room for improvement, but I think a B is a fair grade, given the fact that it was a really hard project to undertake in the first place.
Home-style cooking in a hometown atmosphere. Hi, I'm Adina from Zeller's Restaurant in Rose Lodge in Lincoln City. Join us daily for good fun and great food. You can even kick up your heels at Zeller's.
I'm Josh Zantello with Zantello Law Group, and we are fortunate to have a number of attorneys in our office that specialize in a variety of law fields. Call our office and set up a free consultation. With our field of experts, you're never alone.
Wouldn't it be great to have all your insurance needs handled by one agency? This is Charlotte Lado with Farmers Insurance and the Insurance Store. Visit our office next to the Wildflower Grill in Lincoln City. Let us be your one stop for your personal, commercial, health, and Medicare insurance needs.
We are going to have illusions all over Lincoln City, and in particular at the Lincoln City Cultural Center. Serena Dressel, the executive director of the Lincoln City Cultural Center, is with us. Festival of Illusions. Tell me.
Yes, the Festival of Illusions is a great opportunity for kids and their families to join us in Lincoln City for a fun, family-friendly, magical event, March 22nd through 27th. So that's a Sunday through a Friday of spring break.
Now, you have a host of entertainers that are going to be part of this program, correct?
Yes, we have 6 of the Northwest's best family entertainers, including past favorites Jeff Evans, Louis Fox, Matt Baker, Joe Black, and Professor D.R. Schreiber. And this is our 14th annual time hosting the Festival of Illusion, so it's a big favorite in town.
Okay, tell me about the charges. How much do you charge to get in, whatever would happen to be, or is there a charge?
So it's $19 for adults, $17 for seniors and students, and $11 for youth ages 6 to 18, and then free for kids under 5. There are also some special group discounts that you can get, and a lot of other fun things happening throughout the time.
So now this is an annual event because it's been going on a number of years here in Lincoln City at the Cultural Center.
Yes, this is the 14th annual time hosting this event. And I don't know if we formally have a headliner, but one thing that people love every year is seeing the amazing Bubble Man. So this year we made sure to schedule 2 shows with him. So there are 2 opportunities to see the amazing Bubble Man.
Now, all of this takes place inside the Cultural Center up on the big stage?
Yes, our entertainers will be on the big stage, and then we'll also have activities every day in the Underground Art Lab, and that is downstairs.
The Underground Art Lab, downstairs activities, what are we talking about?
So that is something that Krista is leading. There will be themed art kits made by volunteers, and members of the public can shop the art kit room as well as the Underground Art Lab activity.
There is a host of things that go into this Festival of Illusions. And again, the entertainers are from all over the Northwest, correct?
Yes, they're from all over the Pacific Northwest.
And I think another item that is going to be taking place in the gallery, is there not something that ties in with Festival of Illusions in the gallery as well?
Technically, we'll just have our 2 shows that are opening on Friday, March 13th, Oregon Coast After Dark with Jeremy Likeness, and Eco Play with Sal Strom and Catherine Caprero Ulrich. But we will have some tie-ins to a future event that will have a space kind of theme in the spring.
We have so many things that are taking place here at the Cultural Center. What else do we need to know about forthcoming events?
We have a lot of things upcoming this spring, a lot that we're looking forward to, including our annual fundraising gala that will be taking place on May 2nd, called Culture, of course. And we have the Community Days banquet here and a lot of other fun things coming up.
So you are one busy lady.
Yes, I'm a busy bee.
You do enjoy it, though, do you not?
Yes, I have such a great time, and I'm really excited for my first Festival of Illusions. I love bubbles, so the Bubble Man is what I'm most looking forward to, but we have all kinds of fun lined up for that week. So,
needless to say, 2 of the days, don't look for Serena in her office. She's out watching the Bubble Man.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there at every show introducing our fun entertainers, so I'm excited to meet all of the families, too.
Okay, you talked about the Bubble Man. We understand that. Who else is going to be performing, and what kind of activities do they have?
So we start the show off with, the week starts with a great show with Jeff Evans, Magician of the Year. And then we have the Bubble Man on Monday afternoon, and that evening, Professor D.R. Schreiber, the historical conjurer. Tuesday, the amazing Bubble Man again. And then Wednesday, we take a little break for our headlining show of the year, Solace, which is a famous Celtic band. Thursday, we come back to the Festival of Illusions for Joe Black, a hypnotist and illusionist. And then we finish the week off with Matt Baker, who's kind of a comedy stuntsman.
You mentioned something I absolutely love, and that's Celtic music. Are we having dancers as well?
I don't know if we'll have dancers this time, but we do have Irish step dancing here every week. If you'd like to sign up, that's twice a day on Mondays.
Step dancing here in the Cultural Center, really?
Yeah, we have a dance studio here with a variety of dance classes, tango, step dancing, which has its own live music a lot of the time. So sometimes you'll be here just for a meeting or something else, and you'll hear some fun bagpipes in the wind.
Now, downstairs, you got to talk about all of the stuff that is downstairs as well for people to avail themselves of.
Yeah, so we will have something every day for a few hours a day for kids downstairs in the Underground Art Lab, I believe from 2 to 5 p.m., and that is always a favorite for the kids, and so we're really looking forward to that.
It's something that has really taken shape here for the Cultural Center are all of the art kits that are put together by volunteers and given to kids.
Yeah, you are interviewing on a very special day. Yesterday, we calculated that we have officially given out over 30,000 art kits since the program started. And so we have given out 30,250 art kits as of yesterday. And so we're really excited about the art kit program, and that's something that we really value year-round.
30,000 art kits put together by volunteers and given away.
Yes, all given away for free or by donation to the Lincoln City community and visitors.
Serena, appreciate the activities and look forward to the Festival of Illusions upcoming this weekend.
Yes, thank you so much. I'll see you there.
Retooled, refueled, and ready to rock. Queensryche. Saturday, April 25th at Chinook Winds Casino Resort. Is there anybody listening? One night with Queensryche live. Queensryche, Saturday, April 25th. Chinook Winds Casino Resort. Get tickets now at ChinookWinds.com, Chinook Winds box office, or by phone at 1-888-MAIN-ACT. Queensryche in concert. Chinook Winds, where concerts are better at the beach.
Joining us now is Boone Marker, and Boone has turned out to be the voice of the Taft High Tigers in a lot of different sporting events, but we're wanting to talk about spring sports on the horizon.
Yeah, today's Tuesday, but we've got spring sports, baseball, softball, track and field, disc golf, as well as one of the new offerings here at Taft.
Now, you are offering a service for people to be able to listen to the ball games, get the information about the ball games. Tell me about that.
Definitely to learn more about it. I started a Facebook page and website called Lincoln City Sports Report, kind of bridging the gap from old-style newspaper reporting that isn't really offered here in town anymore. So I post schedules of the week, updates on Taft scores and highlights, and just try to bring awareness to our awesome sports here at Taft High and throughout Lincoln City.
We are up here at Taft High School who just finished an activity and talking to students about career paths. What kind of questions did you get from the students in your booth?
Most of my stuff was about lake management, so I was talking about water conservation and the path they would take. Nobody asked me about sports reporting. And again, this is something I kind of fell into. Years ago, I did write weekly for the News Guard. Jeremy had asked me to put together sports reports, and I did that weekly. But then I just have realized that sports don't get covered here in Lincoln City, and parents love to see their kids' name in print. So it's been a really fun. I started in the fall last year, and with the help of some local sponsors promoting the page and doing some giveaways. I've slowly built the growth of the page, and that's just a spot where you can go to learn more about Taft and other local sports agencies here in town.
Will you go live play-by-play?
I don't do live play-by-play. I do some of that stuff with another organization called Sportscasting Unlimited, where we cover state tournaments like basketball, volleyball, track and field. But Eric Goss will do baseball play-by-play that will be broadcast through the school's Huddle page.
And again, that is on a website. Which one?
So you can watch the baseball games on Huddle. It's Huddle Fan. You can Google that, and you can pretty much watch all Taft sports. It's easier during football and basketball season because there's cameras there, whereas Eric will have just a camera in the press box doing play-by-play for Taft baseball.
How about softball? Does he do that as well, or what do you cover in softball?
There won't be a live stream of softball that I'm aware of. They have the same schedules typically, so he'll be primarily doing baseball. But I encourage anybody listening to come up and check out some Taft sports this spring. And for more information, look up Lincoln City Sports Report on Facebook.
Now, during the course of the basketball season, we were up here a number of times. Hear you on the mic. You enjoy that as well, do you not?
Yeah, very much. I kind of fell into the public addressee person a few years ago, and it's something I very much look forward to year after year, doing football, soccer, basketball. And it's just a great way for me to stay involved in Taft sports.
You came to Lincoln City originally with the Lincoln City Parks and Rec, right?
Yeah, 10 years ago, it was November of 15, I came, and I kind of started here at the high school. I was like, I need to immerse myself in this town. Where's the best place to start? And I started coming to Taft basketball games and football games, and I helped with the JV softball team and volleyball, and now I'm the volleyball coach, and it's just something I really enjoy.
The volleyball coach for all of the girls' sports, it is a task in itself, is it not, Boone?
Yes, it is. I coach about 9 months out of the year. We're in club season right now, so I've got a bunch of 8th graders that will be in high school next year, and I just love this group that we have here at the high school. And we're moving into a 4A conference next year that typically produces a top state finisher, but I hope that could be us this year.
Now, that's going to be a different ball game, reverting back to a number of years ago when Taft was in that same league.
Yeah, we're back to 4A just because of our school size, so we're back into the Oregon West. I think we were in the Valco at one point, but now it's the Oregon West, where we'll play against Newport, Philomath, Cascade, Staten, and Central out of Independence.
Now that brings back some of those old rivalries again, does it not?
It should, and I know that the Oregon West produces some great sports teams year after year where they're either in the state semifinals or finalists.
Taft, for a number of years, had been known as the school that if it was a hard ball, get out of my way because they're going to run all over you, baseball, softball, and the like. Basketball and football not so strong, but that has turned as well, has it not?
We've had a great surge of Taft sports the last few years. A lot of that has to do with the seniors that we have right now that will be moving on. And we've got some great underclassmen that I hope can carry the strong traditions that we've had the last few years as being a team to fear in some of our leagues versus when I first moved here, we were at the bottom of the league over and over again.
Kind of nice to be able to see and watch the kids be able to progress and come out of those doldrums, is it not?
Absolutely, and a lot of it just comes down to the volunteer coaches that started with them when they were in 3rd grade, and the progression they've made, and how much more involved the high school's been, and the coaches with the youth leagues and volunteers. And but that's where it starts, is getting involved at a young age with a group of kids and developing the skills that will help them later in high school.
What do you get out of coaching all these young people?
I hope that they are seeing how much love I have for the sport, and I want them to learn to love the sport that they're playing. I want them to get into high school and be able to be competitive and, turn Taft into a winning program year after year.
If you're looking for something exciting to do, something fun to do, baseball, softball up at Taft High School this spring.
Absolutely. And don't forget, we're going to host a track and field event, and I was new to track and field when I first got here, but I have learned to absolutely love it. And there's nothing cooler than watching kids run down the home stretch while you've got people jumping and throwing in the background. And Taft Sports this spring, check it out.
And if we don't mention Andy Morgan and Heather Hatton and golf, we're in trouble.
Thank you. I was going to get in trouble by Heather the day after you publish this. They've got a meet coming up in the next week or so, and can't forget about spring sports and golf.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
Don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
So welcome back to the Double R Show. Let's talk about some of the activities that are taking place in and around the Lincoln City community for spring break. And, of course, we had a couple of major ones, and with Boone Marker and Serena Dressel talking about the Cultural Center and the high school. That's a lot of people coming into town.
Right, yeah, the spring break that the Cultural Center's put on, 14 years rolling, and the magic shows, the bubble shows are coming. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Good stuff. And we also have an opportunity for you to go to a play. The Lincoln City Playhouse group is producing and performing Anastasia, and that is going to be March 20, 21, 22 up at Taft High School in the community room. Tickets are $15 and students are just $10. So again, good entertainment taking place right here in Lincoln City.
Right, yeah, look forward to that.
And put this one on your calendar. We have Representative David Gomberg and Senator Dick Anderson are going to be co-hosting a town hall get-together, and this is going to be up at the Oregon Coast Community College. Your opportunity to talk to the senator and the representative about what happened or will happen because of the last legislative session. That's on March 27 at the Oregon Coast Community College. If you can't get into the building itself, you can go on Zoom, and it'll be there for you to watch. It's 9 o'clock, 9 in the morning, 27th of March. And our thanks to Representative Gomberg and Senator Anderson for putting on that town hall meeting about the state legislature. Spring into preparedness, April 2026. We got a speaker series coming April 2nd at 6 o'clock in the evening at the Lincoln City Community Center. Find out about Tsunami Roadshow. Good information that we all, I think, probably, well, that won't happen here.
Yes, it will. Yeah, math and science will say yes, it will. The timing of such, it's been shown that mathematically we're looking at, I think it's a 20% chance in the next 50 years. So that's a serious thing to be watching out for. Of course, we're talking about a near-shore earthquake, which would launch a near-shore tsunami, which would be devastating because the Juan de Fuca Plate and the Cascadia subduction zone are well mapped, well understood, at least at the scale that they're coming.
And we're so close.
Yeah, we are
so close.
Yeah, we are not going to escape that. Yeah, for sure.
Great Oregon Coast Garage Sale, Fridays, April 17th, 18th, and 19th. This is happy treasure hunting. If you would like to have a garage sale and you want to be part of all of the promotion and advertising, go to the Lincoln City Chamber of Commerce office and fill out the application. You do get a specific sign that designates you as one of the Community Day's Great Oregon Coast Garage Sale sponsors. So be part of it. And let's see, what else do we have? Enrichment program up at Nesquin Valley School. This is a K through 6 grade. And for that enrichment program, I encourage you to contact Nesquin Valley School, and they'll fill you in on all of the details. And, of course, Dark Sky. That is really getting to be a big hook.
Yeah, we're going to have Stephanie Hall on here in a week or so talking about dark skies and some astrotourism to be considering and other benefits to just having a dark sky tourism approach for our community. So, yeah.
That's good stuff. Anything else on your side of the table there, Mr. Paul?
Yeah, well, we just participated up there at the high school on St. Patrick's Day here for the Career Day, and it was just kind of fun to be talking about, podcast and radio with folks. And one of the lads that came up to you was like, "Hey, I recognize your voice."
Yeah, that was a bit of a rush for me. I get that from a lot of the seniors, but not from
a senior in high
school.
Right.
that set me back a couple of feet. And then another lad that you had told him that I had been in the Army, had been in the service, sat there and wanted to just shake my hand and thank me for my service. It just really threw me back.
Yeah,
really threw me back.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. So, that was a good event, and look forward to working with some of those journalism students maybe in the future. They've got that program up there, and high school we learned a few things for ourselves. So, well done, Taft.
So that'll do to the Dunes on a Double R Show. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share so you, your family, and friends around the world and across the street can join us on a Double R Show. For Paul and Jana, I'm Double R. Have yourself a happy day and a safe spring break.
You've been listening to The Double R Show. Join Roger and Paul Robertson as they explore everything about North Lincoln County. The Double R Show, produced by Always Productions and hosted by Roger Robertson. Have a story? Email contact@alwaysproductions.com or call 458-201-3039. For The Double R Show, I'm Jana Grawn.